Forever Tramp Renegade here. Today I'm going to be working on my audio and video. I got some new toys here and I'm in the garage because it's kind of hot outside, and I was able to get the window unit air conditioner in the garage going, so I'm just going to hang out in here and try to finish this project inside. But let me show you what I have. These are all the parts that I got off of Amazon, and I'm going to start with this one first. We've got a digital TV antenna. It's supposed to go up to 50 miles, and it's just a flat antenna that can be mounted in a window or somewhere on a wall. So that's my antenna I'm going to try out. Here is the AM/FM radio I was talking about, and I'll get it out of the box here in a second and show you. But it's got AM/FM, it's got SD card in, it's got USB in, and then it's got a spot on the back for the speakers to come out, and it's got an input on the back for this wire here, a 3.5 millimeter jack to go into these RCA cables from my TV to the radio. And then after that, we're going to have these three-way speakers. These are just some cheap speakers. They had okay reviews on Amazon, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a shot and see how they turn out. And then I've got some speaker wire. The next thing I have is a Bluetooth receiver, and this is going to be able to be plugged into the USB port on this amplifier radio, and that way I'll be able to play my Pandora through my phone through the speakers. I might end up using, if I can find it here, let's see, I got these out of an old van. I thought they were pretty cool. I think I showed you another video when we went scrounging one day, but when I got those I found this switch panel which I thought was pretty neat, and it's got these lights here. I don't know if they work. Of course it was plugged into something, but I'll have to cut those wires off and wire it up if I end up using that. But I do have one switch panel on the van already up here, and it's got 3 switches, but I might either replace it or add that other switch panel somewhere else. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put everything. The radio, I was thinking about either putting up here where these lights are, take those out, put the radio up there, or on the other side, or just make a shelf beside the TV there. I'm just not too sure where I'm going to put it. Another thing is this antenna. They say they're better to be used if they're in a window, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in a window. The best window to put it in would be that back window there on the driver's side, which y'all know is where my air conditioning goes. And several of you have asked me about this window unit air conditioner, why I've taken it out, and I just don't use it that much. If I'm at a place that has power, I can plug in, but I don't carry a generator around, and my 12-volt system obviously won't run that AC, so I just ended up taking it out, and I use the fan a lot, and that seems to work okay. So I might put that antenna in that back window. Another option is I can put it on that wall there, which, this window here is, right directly across from there, or I can put it right behind the driver's seat up there on the wall. So I just don't know exactly where I'm going to put it right now. So we'll see when we get there. The speakers I'm probably going to put up back in the back there in the corners of those cabinets. So anyways, I'm going to unbox all this and try to redo some wiring and get it mounted how I want it, and then I'll check back in with you. Alright, well, I've got my electrical cabinet opened up, and if you guys can remember, here's my electrical setup. I've got everything in here, and there's a wall that covers this up, and here's the mark where the lid goes. So everything in here is full at the moment. I've got my fuses here, everything, if I can get that off there, everything is full. I'm using every single one of them, so I don't really have any spare fuses. I can put multiple things on the same fuse, but I choose to keep everything separate. So what I'm going to have to do is use another fuse block. I have one with 6 available fuses. Here it is here. you've got 6 options here. You got power that comes in, and then you've got each fuse. And then I do have another ground bar. So what I think I'm gonna do is put these here, put one here, and then I'll put my additional ground up here, or one here, one there. Either way, I'm gonna have to do that to add more fuses because I've got more accessories than when I started. Alright guys, well I'm sitting out here in the van and I've got everything kind of mocked up. Let me show you. It looks like it's a mess now, but I've got my radio powered up. I've got my USB Bluetooth receiver here, and then I've got a speaker wire going to a house speaker that I had in the garage because I didn't open the new ones yet. And then I've got the TV. I've got it hooked up with this cord here, and it's plugged into the back, so that's what it's on right now. I've got my TV going, and I can turn the volume up here.
What I love about these high school girls, I get older, they stay the same.
And you can hear that. So I'm going to turn that down, and then I'm going to switch over to the radio. Well, it's on USB, so let me play my phone here. I've got Pandora open. So that's my Pandora going through this Bluetooth receiver here. So that thing works. And then it works with the radio too. So there's the it works how I want it to. Alright, well it has been a long night. It's almost 11 o'clock. I forget when I started. Probably about 5:30. Everything is working. I've got the TV going off of the antenna. I've got the start of a new fuse block put in, and that's going to the radio here. I'm not finished with everything. I still have to button up some wires, and I've got an absolute mess going on. You see I've had to drill some holes. I ran the speaker wires, but I've got the speakers back there mounted. The wires are down here going back. I still have to tuck some wires up. Let me show you that antenna. Alright, well here's that antenna. I did end up putting it on the back window. I don't know if I'm going to put my air conditioning back in. I may, and if I do, I can just pull this off and put it somewhere. But basically, I've got it mounted here. The wire just runs down here, and I've got to get some wire loom to put that in to protect it, and it just tucks back in and then goes under the bed and then up to there. Alright, well it's day 2 of this rewire install, and the van is just an absolute mess. Most everything is done. I just have to finish up a few things. I did go back to Lowe's and get some wire loom and some more ties to attach the wire loom. But one thing I am going to put in are these little cup holders I've showed you before, but I'm going to paint them up probably about the same color as the van, and I'm going to put one right there by the bed and one over here, and then I've got my new switch panel up there, and it's actually going to turn these on, and they've got these little lights up here that they glow really nicely. It's like a really warm orange type glow, and it's also got this cigarette lighter plug here, so I'm going to wire this to that light, and then when I turn the switch on, they'll actually power up those cigarette lighter plugs. Most of you guys know I don't have solar, and I've only got a 100 amp hour battery, so before too long I am probably going to upgrade, add a couple more batteries. I was thinking about having 300 amp hours, and then I probably will upgrade to a solar panel or 2 on the roof. I have room for it. I just got to be careful when I install the solar panels where I can maybe be able to tilt them, but I don't want them to be in the way when I load my kayaks. I don't want to be stepping on them anyway, so I got to figure out a place to put the solar panels, but I don't know when that's going to be. It may be a little while before I get solar. Alright, well everything is complete. I've got everything zip tied up nicely. You can see this is a little tight. I could have stood for that cord to be a little longer, but that's as long as it was. My radio is here. I've got it screwed down. I've got these cup holders painted up to match the van. They've got an ashtray, which I probably won't ever use, but they do have these 12-volt sockets there. I haven't checked to see if 12-volt works. They're wired up, but I'll see if they'll work in a little while. Here is, the speakers are up there, and these things are neat. Let me show you those lights. They're kind of hard to see during the day, but I'll have to show you when it's a little darker. Alright, well here in the back you can see I've done quite a bit here actually. I started out just putting this wire loom here. That way when I close the door it doesn't get pinched. I still have to watch for it not to get pinched there, but it helps. And then I rearranged everything. I have my aquatainer there now, and when it's full, it's empty now, but when it's full I'll be able to get water out of there as long as I've got that clear right there. If I would have built that wall about 1 inch that way, I would have been able to turn it this way, but I didn't think that through when I did my build. If I would have, that would have made a lot of difference. But I moved this cabinet over, and then I'm able to put my chairs here, and behind there is all the life jackets and everything for the kayaks, and then I've got the kayak paddles over there in my shower. So I've got all kinds of room. I built that little shelf to get my toolbox in there, and that turned out a little better than what I'm used to having. So now that everything is tucked away and put up neatly, I'm ready to go to the lake and do some kayaking. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below.